Hello, if you're VIP or you're absent today, which is Friday, February 5th, here's what we did in class. First thing that you need to know is that our discussion classroom page will be archived at 3 p.m. So that means that you won't be able to make any changes at that point. So you need to have all of your answers in by 3 p.m. or they will not count. Just keep that in mind. First thing that you need to do today is get your vocab test out of the way. Because we have so many things listed for this week, you may have to click view more, depending on which class you're in. So there's your vocab test. You click on it, you take the test, same as always. Make sure you have your vocab homework turned in. It was due this morning at 8 a.m. After that, I want you to go back to the discussion page and I want you to see if anybody has responded to anything that you posted yesterday, because we worked on it all day. So people may have gotten back to you about something. If they did, I want you to respond to them. You can look at other people's comments and chime in if you'd like to. Just remember that what you're being graded on is your ability to add correct and interesting things to the conversation, things that are on topic that move the conversation forward. So you're showing us that you understand the things that we've talked about and that you've put thought into your responses. So you can go through, you can click on the things that you answered yesterday. And remember that if there's one that you really want to see some answers to, but that you don't have an answer for yourself or you haven't, posted, you can just click, or you can just send a dot or a comma or whatever, and then it'll unlock the whole page for you so that you can see what other people have said and respond to them. Once you feel like you have wrapped up your discussion, just for your information, we spent about, I'd say, half an hour on discussion boards today. So that should be about the same length of time that you spend trolling the discussion boards. After that, you need to go to your synthesis letter here. And we have command verbs in a file that I'd like you to copy over to your glossary. So you can just copy paste the whole slide. Instead, you can delete your copy of the issue slide and replace it with this one. Issue, key point, central idea, support, and describe. These correspond to this assignment. So we've used those words in our assignment. What you're going to do is write us a letter that kind of pulls together all the things that we've talked about in the last 2 weeks. So we're looking at the Brown versus Board of Education article. We're looking at David Letterman's interview with Malala, and we're looking at the podcast. So how do those things all kind of come together? You're going to structure this assignment like a letter. So you're going to start off your letter with Dear Mrs. Cran. And then you're going to answer each of these numbered questions in a paragraph. Each paragraph should be at least 100 words. So the first thing you'll do is react to the content in the text and videos. This is just me, or you telling me how you felt while you listened to the podcast, while you read Brown versus Board, and while you watched Malala. I have some specific questions here for you that you can respond to. Synthesize the text. That means you try to find places where synthesis, I always think of this sort of motion. So how does Malala relate to Martin Luther King? So you're kind of bringing them together. How's the fight to educate girls similar to Brown versus Board, and how is it different? In what ways is the fight to educate oppressed young girls similar to the fight for the kids at Normandy to get a quality education? So that's all one paragraph. The next one is why is education important? So if a central idea in all these texts is education is important enough to fight for, why? Support your point with evidence and examples from the text. And then just kind of overall evaluate this little mini unit. So what forms of media that we use did you like or dislike? So that would be the textbook article, the podcast, or and the interview video. I had some kids tell me that like the information in the podcast, but it was really hard for me to focus, kind of give me that sort of feedback. Did you like the online discussion? Why or why not? What would you change, add, or remove to this from this unit if you could? And how did your opinions and perspectives change, broaden, strengthen, especially in conversation on the online discussion board? Did people say things that really changed your viewpoint, or did you just come to believe what you already believed a little bit stronger? Did it widen your perspective? Those sorts of things. And then you have the opportunity to get bonus. You would choose one of these numbered questions and you would respond to it in the same length, so 100 words at least, and that can be up to 5 bonus points. The rubric is at the bottom. So down here, I have all of the information, how I'm grading you. Some of them even have very specific points so that you can see exactly how I'm grading you. Note that for conventions, I really do want you kind of to treat this like a letter and not like an essay. So you can be more conversational than usual, but I'd still like you to proofread and make sure that you aren't, using a bunch of slang. Kind of treat it like your discussion board posts. Like you can be a little bit more casual. It doesn't need to be an essay, but it should still be easy for me to read. Your bonus is up to 5 points, and I'm grading it with these characteristics, and the total point value is 25. This is due Monday at midnight. So you'll have the virtual day on Monday, but you'll also have a vocab assignment. So, budget your time so that you don't have a ton of stuff to do on Monday. I think that's it. If you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you on the discussion boards today, and I'll talk to you again on Monday or Tuesday. Have a good day and a good weekend.